Good morning, everybody. Next week, Susan's doing a retreat in Julian that I and my younger brother are going to be at. So there's not going to be any journey next week. I was thinking I may be able to fit it in, and I just thought it it's going to be, I don't know how it'll all work out. So it just seems to be a little too complicated in my small brain. So I said, let's just hold off for next week and we'll continue after that. So today, I thought yet last week's journey for me, when I listened back to a little of it, was a little scattered. So I want to revisit parts of that with a little bit more of a clear intent. And Juno sent me something. She goes, since we're going into mud, I don't know why I wrote that, to be honest. I don't think we're going into mud, although that would be a really good journey just to go into the mud and see all the amazing things that are in mud. So maybe that will be the next journey. But where I want to go today, without too much talking, if that's possible for me, is I want to journey to time. Journey to time. So what does that look like? What does that feel like? Is it father time? Is it grandmother time? And when we get to time and just feel that energy, what that is, for us, it's so linear. Or we look at our watch and it's circular, but it's so much different. Last week we talked about just making sure. Hang on one second. I want to change the original sound for music. Okay. So last week we talked about what we put out in the universe. What we say, we put on this web of creation, and that web vibrates. And the universe, if it hears us, it's very accommodating, and it'll say, okay, I'll give you that. So when we say, oh, this sucks, the universe goes, oh, okay, we'll give you that, and we get more of that. And I go back to that surfer who was caught under water, and he didn't let that image frighten him. When I was a young kid, like 8 years old, I would, and we won't go into how I did this, but I was scuba diving in Cozumel, and the dive guide, I mean, that tank was bigger than me. My mask didn't fit. Everything was just huge. And I see the instructor, the dive guide, go, come here. And I go, what? I'm over here. He goes, come here. And then he grabs me and he pulls me away, and here's this hammerhead swimming, and he goes, that far from your fins. And I went, oh, that should have freaked me out and never allowed me in the water again. However, my young brain thought it was fun and it was cool and it didn't scare me. So what we put out there, what we go, okay, this is now scary. The universe goes, okay, I'll give you more of that. I'll give you that. So I just want to watch our words and what we put on this web. A lot of us are talking about, not a lot of us, some of us talk about how we want to open up our awarenesses more. We look at the clairs, and some say, I'm very clairaudient, not so clairvoyant. Claircognizant, maybe. And so what am I putting out on this web of creation? Oh yeah, that I'm not so claircognizant. I don't have the knowing. I don't have the vision. I have the hearing, which is weird because I have this constant tinnitus going on, and that's my strong clair. So if we go into time, the intention I want to set up is, can we go back into that period of time? Well, first ask time, can we go back in time? Can we go back there and adjust some things? And they may say, no, no, no. Or they may say, yeah, go ahead, check it out. So if we go back and just adjust, see if we can adjust something that doesn't serve us today, that we put on the web of creation, that we added to our story, that we don't want on our story anymore, and just take it away. Substitute it with the positive aspect of, I am really, all my clairs are equal strength and super powerful. Something like that. And then we can journey back and do even other things if that works for us. In these journey classes or sessions, they are, we can go back and do this in private and do it longer and longer so we can really get more work out of it. It's not a one and done. Okay. The second journey I want to do is I want to go back and visit the void, but this time I want to go to Spider Woman of creation. And there are a lot of different creation stories. This is one with Spider Woman. And I just like that image of the web of creation and the vibrations that we set on it. And I want to go into that, back into that void, into that creation. And I want to have us just sit there for a while. And then the intention is I want us to drop, some loving, positive intentions to Mother Earth, down to the earth. Do we want to, do we just want to blanket it with love, drop little hearts on it? Do we want to disconnect the bombs that are going off? Do we want to send galactic energy? How do we want to, whatever we want to drop onto the earth as a seed? And I want us to actually see it go down and drop and hit and see what happens. Okay, that's it. So the first one, we're going to go talk to time. We're going to talk to time. Very cool. I don't think I've ever talked to time. I don't think I've ever been to time. And that's one of the cool things about journeying. You get to go to places that you never go to. Who goes to time? We just think it's always going to be there and use it, and it uses us. And anyway, it's going to be interesting. So before we start, as always, we want to open up sacred space. We want to take some deep breaths and get centered. Feel ourselves where we are in our rooms and in our lives and in this time stream that we're in on a Saturday. Whatever that means. The days of the week as I think of that. Anyway. And we want to acknowledge and thank our guides for being here. Call them close. Our master teachers, whoever they are for you, Jeshua, Buddha, Mary, our personal guides and angels, some of our departed loved ones. Don't forget our pets. And I want to open up the 4 directions. And I find it curious for me. I started out with the 4 directions always facing the east, the rising sun. But these days I find myself in different parts of the directions. And so I find myself facing the north right now. And I call on Spirit, Keep of the North, White Buffalo, Calf Woman. Walk with us, show us the sacred path. And I call on the south. Did a big jump. I call on the south, the strong Sunday, the midday. I call on Jaguar, strength of Jaguar, the sight of Jaguar. I call on Coyote, the playfulness, the cunning. And I call on Snake to show us how to shed skin easily. And I go to the west. I find myself in the west with Whale, Bear, Shell Woman. And I feel myself on the beach, and I feel the water lapping up against my ankles. And I feel whale energy, the Akashic memory of whale. And I drop into the east, condor, eagle, hummingbird. And I ask them to walk with us as we go into this journey. As we go into this journey of time, to meet time, to meet the Spider Woman Creatrix. We're going to go on the first journey, then we're going to come back, and then we'll do the other journey. So as we prepare, we call on wind to lift us up out of our 3D bodies. Lifts us out of our wombs. And we find ourselves walking out of the door into the familiar mist, through the mist, into the cloakroom, where we take off our egos, we take off our judgments, we take off our limiting beliefs, and we grab a robe to go into meet time, to journey to time. What does this robe look like? What does it feel like? A time robe. to exit the cloakroom, and we find ourselves on the familiar path. But this path, although familiar, is different. It's a path to time. Pay attention to how we travel. There's many ways to get there. Are we walking on a path? What's the path made of? And on this path to time, pay attention to the hidden folk along this path. Bridge. We cross the bridge, but before we get to the other side, we look down. Why is this bridge here? What's underneath the bridge? And maybe more importantly, what's above the bridge? Cross the bridge and we see the healing dome that we have seen before. Looks a little different. We see the world tree next to it. Guardians led us into the dome. What's the smells? What's the density of the air? Pay attention to who else is there. And we notice a ladder going up through a portal at the very top of the dome. It's the stairway to time. How do you feel starting out on this stairway to time? We're going to go up the stairway to be with time, understand time as much as we can, and to ask time if we can go and correct a word that we misspoke to ourselves, to somebody else that is sitting on the web of creation. Gently say goodbye to Father Time, Grandmother Time, whatever label we put on it. Slowly come down the ladder, thanking time for the awareness. You can leave a gift if you'd like. And we come down the ladder into the healing dome. Out through the door. Over the bridge. Up the path. And we take off our robes, put on our egos. We find ourselves back in our rooms. Slowly coming back. And let's take a few minutes to write some things down if you need to. We're going to go to the web of creation. I talk about this on Sunday, just how what we say, we vibrate. And I've got this image of Spider Woman, and her hand is this web of creation. I thought, oh my gosh, that's so perfect. And in this time stream that we find ourselves in, with all the crazy stuff, all the beautiful stuff, all the loving stuff, all the hurtful stuff, I would like to go up to visit Creator. And we can do this you can go up there and do this a couple of different ways. And real quick, how we get there is immaterial, and I think we're just gonna go. So I'm not gonna talk about how we're on the path, how we go over a bridge or any of that. You guys can do that in your mind's eye. You can just be there. It doesn't matter. The pathway from here to there is pretty short. We just need to go, zoom. So we're going to go meet Creator, and whatever that means. Be receptive, be open, be non-judgmental, be whatever you want to be, because you're going to be hanging out with Creator. So Creatrix, Spider Woman. So anything is possible. And when we're visiting that energy, source energy, which I truly believe is us. We are part of that energy. Let's drop some intentions to Earth. Healing energies, peace, love, maybe clean up some toxicity that mankind has put on the earth. Some magical way, some way that that's just like, oh yeah, we got this, whatever. I mean, just be be open to whatever comes into our mind's eye as to what we want to drop to earth. When we drop this, pay attention, watch it come down. And does it just drop down like an arrow and stick into the earth? Does it helicopter down like one of those seeds? Does it float like a leaf or dandelion? Whatever. Just pay attention to it, and it maybe just be colors, and who knows what it'll be. Okay, I'm just going to use my rattle this time, and I think the rattle's going to stop in the middle and just be silent, and then it'll come back, and we'll come back, hopefully. Please come back. With these journeys, for me, I think it's really, really important to come back slowly and to come back. Follow the same path that you took. A lot of people, I've been, some people are not doing that in my awareness, not in this group, but I think it's really important to travel that same path back to get us back to our 3D space. Okay, so here we go. Any questions before we jump into that? We're all good. Okay. See you in Creator Land. All right, here we go. So if we close our eyes, take a deep breath. We've invited all of our master teachers. Everything is there. We are a breath or two away. We rise up. And walk out the door through the mist. We are visiting Creator to drop seeds, love on earth. Let's just stay with Creator, Spider Woman, Creatrix in the silence. We find it's time to come back to this reality that we have created. With all its contrast. With all its joy. And if you need to jot some things down, please do now. All right, I got to run. So thank you all. Thank you so much. And we won't see you next week, but the week after.